Now, in this lecture, I will introduce about blockchain technology and some key technology inside the blockchain. Okay, let's. Okay, so in previous lecture, I already introduced about Society 5.0. Yeah, in Society 5.0, the shared cyberspace is important to share the data among application and service in the physical space. Yeah, the shared data is necessary to enable the application and service to operate automatically, smartly, and efficiently. However, the more important thing is to preserve the privacy and security of the shared data. Remember that no one or no organization may agree to share their own data with the others if they do not make sure that their data will be secure and protected, right? It means that develop a mechanism to secure and protect the privacy of the shared data is a must-do task. And in this series of lectures, we will mention about the blockchain as a key technology to secure the shared data in the cyberspace. Before jumping the detail of blockchain, let's give some discussion about the root of problem, ownership of the data. Okay. As you know that in our life, everything exists in the form of ownership. For example, my car, your house, my personal information, and so on. Yeah, such is the ownership relationship. And protect the privacy of data means to protect the ownership of data. Therefore, let's go more detail about the ownership issue. Yeah, asset and ownership relationship. This relationship go through three steps. The first is identification. It means that claim to be a certain person or a certain things. For example, who you are, what it is, for example. And the next step is authentication. It means that to verify that you are really who you claim to be, to prevent someone from claiming to be someone else. And to verify that, you may need to use the ID card, the driver license, and so on. And the next could be the authorization. It means granting access after the successful authentication. Okay, let's remember these three. Okay, let's check how the ownership is protected in the traditional system. For example, let's give an example about the house and person relationship. My house, your house, the house of person B or the house of person A, for example. Yeah, to protect this ownership, uh, this kind of information will be written and protect in a house ledger managed by the, for example, the city office. Okay. This ledger will mapping the owner with the object. Let's say we have the house key. The person A is the owner of this house key. Therefore, the A is the owner of house key. Such kind of information will be written and protected in the house ledger managed by the city office. Okay, now let's say this person A sell the house to the person B, and now person B will be the owner of this house case, right? Therefore, they will make some procedure to ask the city officer to change the data in the house ledger. Now B is the owner of house case and issue some house certificate for the person B. Okay. And now you see that this house ledger is very important because it write the owner relationship. So protect the correctness of the data in this house ledger is very important, right? protect the correctness of data in this house ledger is very important, because the data here is not correct or easy change or easy updates unexpectedly or easy lost. So it means that the ownership relationship here will be lost. It's very dangerous, right? So protect the correctness of this ledger is very important. So now the problem is, what happened if the city officer here make a wrong update to this house ledger? For example, we are citizen. We submit the document to say that update B is the owner of the house K, but this officer, they make a wrong. They update not B, but another person C or D is the owner of house K. It could be very dangerous, because we are the citizen. Maybe we are difficult to verify or to check the information in this house ledger. Okay. And another thing is, what happens if the house ledger is damaged because of the damage of the computer system, about the server, or some disaster, fires, something that make the data here is lost. So what happened and how we can avoid that situation? Now let's find the solution for the two problems. The first is, how about if city officer make a wrong update to my property? Of course, the best solution is, I want to update it by myself, because I only believe myself completely, right? It means that only the owner should have ability to change the things related to his property in the ledger. That's what we want. Okay, it means that currently we have the centralized management. Only the city office can manage and update the information in the ledger. But now I want it should be decentralized management. Okay, everyone, many people can manage and check the information of the ledger. That's what we want. And the next is, how about if the ledger is lost? The best solution is, we want to keep multiple ledgers in many places. In that case, if we lost some ledger in this place, we still have another ledgers and another ledgers in the other place. So we will never lost on the ledger at the same time. That's what we want. It means that currently we have centralized storage. It means that the house ledger is only stored in the city office computer. That's centralized storage. If it is lost, it's not good. Now what I want is decentralized storage. I want the house ledger will be stored in a lot of computer all around the world. That's what we want. And then the big concern of the decentralized network is how to synchronize the data in on the decentralized ledger, because the ledger is stored in everywhere. How to make sure that on the ledger in everywhere you have the same content? How to make sure that that is the synchronized problem? Okay. And here blockchain can provide on the solution. The first is decentralized management. In blockchain network, all the users participate on managing the networks, and each user manage and control his or her data by themselves. It's certified to our requirement. And the next is decentralized storage. A bunch of copies of blockchain ledger are stored decentralized all around the world. In here you see this is the nodes of the blockchain network, and the blockchain ledger are copied and stored in all the nodes in everywhere. Yeah, that means blockchain can solve our problem, our concerns. Then the biggest problem of the blockchain network is how to synchronize the data synchronization problem. How to make sure that on the nodes here keep the same version of blockchain ledger in all the nodes here. That's a big problem. And again, because this network, everyone can join the network. Many people can write the data into the blockchain ledger. So how we can make sure that all those people will work honestly? They will not make something harmful to this blockchain ledger. They will not change the data here unexpectedly. How to kick out the hackers from our network? That's at the big problem. Okay, and don't worry, blockchain has the technology to make things happen. The first is to protect the ownership of the data. The blockchain they use the asymmetric cryptography technology. In the next lecture, I will explain more detail about asymmetric cryptography. And the next technology is cryptography hash function to verify the correctness of the blockchain ledger quickly. Because you see that blockchain ledger we have is maybe very long, very big, and such data is stored in a lot of computer. We need a mechanism to verify whether the blockchain ledger is modified or not, whether it follow the rules or not. We need a method to verify that quickly. Remember the quickly, yeah. And to verify it quickly, we use the cryptography hash function. For example, SHA-256, SHA-500 tails, and so on. And in another lecture, I will explain more detail about cryptography hash function here. And another important data synchronization and kick out hackers issue. And blockchain do that by using the blockchain consensus. For example, the proof of work, proof of stake, and so on. And in another lecture, I will explain more detail about some important blockchain consensus. Okay, that's all for our lecture today. Do you have any question? If you have question, please give me some comments, send me some email. Yes, and comment below this video. Thank you so much for your listening.